Adding an air terminal is very similar to adding a light, with one exception. We host lights to ceilings. Well, why not? If the architect moves the ceiling, our light moves with it. No problem. An air terminal will do the same thing. This is actually not the best workflow. The problem is, a light has nothing physically hooked to it. If it moves up a foot or two, no problem. An air terminal, however, has a duct hooked to it. If the air terminal moves up to the point where Revit can't make the duct connection, you'll get errors all over the place. So let's do this. We're going to add an air terminal, but then we'll establish what the ceiling height is before we place the terminal. Then we'll change the CFM that the terminal is responsible for. To get going, let's go to our HVAC, Ceiling Plans, One Ceiling Mech. Let's zoom in on this area right here. Like I just said, we're going to put in an air terminal, but we don't know what that ceiling height is. If we go to the Annotate tab, and if we click on Spot Elevation, we can then hover over the ceiling, and it's going to give us our ceiling height. We don't need to place the tag in, but it's nice to just hover over it just to verify what the ceiling height is going to be, 8 feet. Hit Escape a couple times. Now on the Systems tab, let's click on the Air Terminal button on the HVAC panel. Let's select Supply Diffuser, 24 by 24 face, 12 by 12 connection. 12 by 12 connection is a little bit big, so let's click on Edit Type. Let's duplicate. Let's give it an 8 by 8 connection. Let's get rid of the number 2. And let's hit OK. Let's change the duct width to 8 inches. Notice the duct height is going to change with it. Click OK. Now again, notice that we can't really see it. So what I want to do is, in the properties, let's set the offset to 8 feet. This is what we verified the ceiling to be at. I'm going to put an air terminal right here. Then I'm going to hit Escape a couple times. Go ahead and select your air terminal. Let's click the Move button. Let's move this air terminal from this endpoint to this midpoint. Let's also turn off all of our arrows. With the diffuser still selected, under Mechanical, uncheck Up, Right, Left, Down, and hit Apply. Hit Escape a couple times. Go ahead and select your diffuser. Right-click on it, and let's create Similar. Again, notice that our offset is set for 0 feet. Type in 8 and hit Return. And pick the same point. Select your air terminal and move it down. A quicker way to do this is to simply copy the air terminal. Select your air terminal, click the Copy button. Let's copy it down to here. Let's hit Escape a couple times. The last thing we should do is change the CFM. With the Control key down, select all 3 of these terminals. For the flow, let's change it to 250 CFM. Now that our air terminals are in place, it's just a matter of connecting the dots with our ductwork.